Now, I want to just raise a very brief point. One that's worth reflecting on is this. The Liberals had a bill, and it's the Energy Conservation Bill. I forget the number of the bill. But within the regulatory section of that bill, the minister can already do this. It's all. I don't know why we're spending this time when we could be working on issues of the economy. But no, in respect to Mr. McPhee, you've worked hard on this. We'll be supporting it. You can count on us to be there for you. Now, but the point is this. I'm saying it's already going to be doing. I think Mr. Phillips was the minister at the time. This can already be done by ministerial order. Not only that, if you look at the new building code, the E80 standard, I think it's referred to, in that new building code, it's already required to meet certain energy efficiency thresholds in insulation and other home construction and residential kind of living. So the points I'm making is this: is the bill we support. Let's get on with something more salient to the current economy and the downturn and the meltdown in the economy, the job losses. But no, there's more to it. Now, the downside of it in its implementation plan here, as I see in the bill, and I've read it, it's quite brief. In fact, I read it over lunch, but I'd read it before that too, is this, that it is a regulation, it's a red tape bill, okay? The problem is that I see that the two fundamental problems by all of the business sector partners that we speak with, and we have been talking to the Federation of Independent Business, Chambers of Commerce and others in our recent roundtable on the economy, led by John Tory, was that they said there's too much red tape from the current government. They're the two most important issues as impediments to the economy is red tape and taxation. Now, the taxation in this is, actually, nothing's free. These home audits are not free, and the real estate agent isn't paying for it, so who's going to pay for it? The person buying the home. The real estate market is in shambles in North America. In fact, I just came from Europe last week. It's in shambles over there. So this is another nail in the coffin, if you will. So you can already do it. Premier McGinney can do it already if he wants. And we've suggested it. We agree with it, so get on with it. Or send this bill to public hearings, waste more time, taxpayers' money. But there's a report issued just recently by the Canadian Home Builders. I just refer it for the records for Hansard. It's September 17, 2008. It's online. It outlines a number of the greenhouse emission issues and standards that are important. So I just want to move to a little higher level of the debate that I believe the Speaker will rule is in order. We are receiving quite frightening information. In fact, at my cottage, I just got this letter here, and it's a dear customer. And I read it. It didn't look too bad until I got into this part. It says here, seasonal rates. And there's an 8.3% increase in the delivery charge. Not only that, I go through in it, and this is for residential and seasonal residential properties. The delivery charge has been ruled by the Ontario Energy Board. It's going to go up 8%. We read yesterday that it's going to be 12% in the rate. That's the actual electrons that you're using. Wait a minute here. We're talking 20%. No, it's actually 14 point. It's frightening. If you look into this in detail, Ontario Power Generation, I'm looking at a Toronto Star article. We refer the Toronto Star as the Liberal briefing notes, okay? And it's fine. I refer people to this. It's Toronto Star on the 16th, and it's a good article, actually, and I usually read that too. It says here, the Ontario Power Generation requests to get paid 14.8% more for the electricity it generates from its regulated nuclear and electrical hydro plants, represents 40% of the base. 14%. Now, this article goes on to say that they're actually going to get it, and yesterday they rolled out 12%. Now, the 12% is, it really penalizes conservation. Here's the deal. The utilities, these are the ones that take the electrons to your house, not the transmission system. It's a kind of a fixed system. But the utilities, whether it's Toronto or Viridian or all these companies, actually are losing money because they get paid for the electricity they sell. And with conservation, they're using less. So if they use less, they sell less, their revenue's down and their expenses are up. Now, when I read this thing, I thought, gosh, this is an impressive memo from this fellow's name was Miles Darcy, Senior Vice President. God, what choice do I have? It's a monopoly. What am I going to say? No? I'll be in jail. Now, the problem is, so I looked at it, I said, gosh, how come these prices are so outrageous for electricity? Well, I went to the Public Sector Disclosure Act in the 2007 report. Now, this fellow that signed this memo, Miles Darcy, I looked him up. Miles makes $489,121. Holy smokes. Sure. He makes more than a premier, three times as much, more than the Prime Minister, more than is necessary. I haven't seen him score a goal recently. I could operate a business if you gave me a 14% increase. I could do fairly well at that, I think, and I'm probably not as qualified as he is. But this inordinate thing, now I read the paper and I see Hydro wallops adds to economic pain. Adds to economic pain. It's what it says. Mr. Runciman asked a question today, and he was dismissed, shuffled off like it was an insignificant increase. Just flipped away. 10% for people on fixed income. This is just one more brick, one more ticking of the time bomb. They've lost money in their pension. Who's going to bail them out? Probably the government and the Pension Benefits Act. Their impact, their house appraisals come in, their tax bills coming up. Municipalities will say it's Dalton McGuinty's fault. You see, municipalities in this whole thing is really to deal with the burden on the people of Ontario that we're elected to represent. It isn't even political, really. In fact, I think we could both make the same arguments if we were being honest about it. And so, Mr. McNeil, I think you're on the right track. It must be, because we already said in our plan, and it's already in the bill, so let's get on with it. The real issue is here, the energy itself. It costs too much. And energy is, in economic terminology, is called price inelastic. In other words, consumption doesn't vary much with price. In normal economics, higher the price, lower the demand. This one here, I still have to cook the food, heat the house, whatever, do all these things, hot water, baths, and I guess you could have a shower in cold water. But my point is this. This non-discretionary product for consumers, I think that it should be a flat rate frozen over a longer term for anyone using under 600 kilowatts. That's kind of a minimum to kind of keep. And then after that, I can see an escalating cost. And this new time of use meters, or no, call smart meters. They're not smart at all. They're time of use. A smart meter, I could phone home and turn on the dishwasher at night. Or I could phone the cottage and turn off the hot tub. That's a smart. This one here, time of use. It's going to say that now we've got 3 different rates, time of day, that you're going to pay. In fact, this article goes on to say, here's a really good one. It says, but off-peak jumps 100%. Off-peak power used to be 2.7 cents per kilowatt hour. It's going to 4. That's a 100% increase, roughly. These are the kind of subtle, incremental jabbing of taxes, because electricity is a tax, by any other name. Look, we support the bill, and good luck, Mr. McNeely, if you get it past Dalton McGuinty in Cabinet. That's the main thing.
Thank you. Further